I stepped in politely, explaining that my husband and I wanted to pick our baby's name together. It was a choice we wanted to make as parents. However, my mother-in-law wasn't having any of it. She insisted that she had the perfect name and, if I was a good daughter-in-law, I should accept it since she had spent so much money on the baby shower. I was shocked at her sense of entitlement. I firmly stated that only my husband and I had the right to name our baby, and regardless of who hosted the baby shower, this decision was ours alone. That's when Mill started yelling at me in front of everyone, claiming I was extremely disrespectful and should be grateful for all she'd done. She went on to criticize my upbringing, insisting that I should be thanking her instead of denying her the right to name the baby. Barbara grew increasingly aggressive, pointing her fingers at my face. My mother stepped in, standing in front of me as a shield. Barbara continued to shout, asserting herself as the actual mommy of my baby since she gave birth to my husband, and it was his sperm that impregnated me. Her words were truly disgusting to hear. Despite my mom's attempt to stop Barbara's nasty comments, she just got angrier. She kept on insulting me and said my mom did a terrible job raising me. It was clear she had too much to drink, and trying to talk sense into her was pointless. The whole situation was getting worse, making everyone uncomfortable. Slowly realizing the escalating situation, I decided I had endured enough humiliation. Trying to salvage some dignity, I decided to walk out with the gifts my friends had generously brought, leaving behind the present that my Mill had got me. However, Barbara, in her intoxicated state, snatched the gifts back from my hand and tossed them to the ground, accusing me of being ungrateful and a witch who was coming between her and her son. The tense atmosphere drew more attention, and I noticed some people starting to film the incident. In an effort to contain the chaos, I asked one of my close friends to politely request people to leave the event. Barbara, undeterred, continued hurling nasty accusations at me, creating a scene that no one could have anticipated when they arrived for what was supposed to be a joyous occasion. Frustration turned to anger, and as a last resort, I decided to call the cops to remove her from my vicinity as I was starting to feel extremely unsafe with her aggressive behavior. Yep, you read that right. I had to involve the police at my own baby shower because of my toxic Mill. When the officers showed up, Barbara went into full drama mode, pointing fingers at me and painting me as the mastermind behind the chaotic event. The cops, thankfully, were understanding and attempted to reason with her. However, being drunk, Mill resisted their efforts and even started yelling at the police, which didn't work in her favor. The situation escalated to the point where she was arrested on the spot. I left the event with my mother and close friends, all of us shaken up by the unsettling incident. Since this incident, my husband and I have been dealing with the fallout. Mill is on a full-blown guilt trip, playing the victim card and garnering sympathy from some family members who were not present at the baby shower as they don't live in the same city. My husband, although he understands why I called the cops, thinks I took it a bit too far. He believes that I could have called him or his father for help. So Reddit, Ida for calling the cops on my Mill for ruining my baby shower and pretending to be the actual mommy of the baby? Update 1, I am overwhelmed with the response I have received since deciding to post about my baby shower. I would like to thank everyone for supporting my decision.